Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show. This podcast is short, fun, and jam-packed with good ideas that you can start using right away.
Welcome to another episode. I'm your co-host, Ellen, along with my co-host.
I don't know who I am. You know why? Because if I don't label myself properly, I'll never find me. Ever. And that's a problem.
Aren't labels for cans, not people?
We label people all the time. What are you talking about?
I know. Well, that's the point. Well, okay. We're not going to get on a philosophical thing, but I'm not sure where you're going here.
Well, I'm a right brainer. I'm a creative person.
Yeah.
I'm a visual. So that whole idea that you would just type in a file name and you would find it works for the left brainers perfectly. But for right brainers, we like to name our files, well, whatever we feel like. What's your system? System? I don't have a system. It's just what I feel like today, you know? And so I have discovered if I want to be able to find things, I have to label them more what they are, less what I feel about them or something clever or something obscure because I want to be, different. So that is the new me. The old me, like old files, good luck. It's a crapshoot. At least finding it by its title. So this is something that I'm using more and more where, instead of digging for the file by clicking, just type it in, Finder, and then, it pops up. And I'm sure people listening are like, duh, I've been doing that for years. Well, that's you. This is new to me because I'm a creative person and we're a little slow to the game sometimes, if you know what I'm saying.
That's so funny because when I worked for an ad agency way back, of course, there was a titling process that you always did. There was a code for what client it was and what the thing was you were working on and then what version it was. And while it wasn't creative, it was less than creative. It was very efficient because you could just, type in the 3-letter code for the client and then you've already narrowed things down and hopefully it'd already be in its own separate folder. But, when things were done, you always had that code somewhere on the ad so that when it came back or there was an issue, you could just go right there. There's no creativity, but it's so efficient.
I'm in now. Sign me up. I'm all in because, with certain types of computers, it used to be very different how you saw things, how you found things. Today, it's pretty similar. So I'm a Mac person, but, now that the folder, the file has the first page of it. So it's more visual than it's ever become, which was a curse because now I would search for it by the way it looked. And that was not efficient because then I'd find something else that looked interesting. Oh, look at that. Ooh, looking over here. And so I've decided that it's more streamlined because I'm not getting distracted by other, colorful things.
Yeah.
And I'm also able to find things quicker. And because of that, the more I see how that works, the more I want to make it my new system, which is, like you said, boring, but efficient.
But I think about like photos, especially you've got your photos if they're all synced from your camera and you've got to think not so much what the image is. I know you can search by image, but sometimes what I think is the image and the computer thinks is the image are totally different. And so I know if there's a photo that I'm using a lot or like a series, the whole dive bar thing, which, we do a lot of dive bar stuff. So I will label photos dive bar so that even if I have to search for them, at least, now we have 50 photos out of 7 million. So that's a little more efficient. I can go through 50 photos and find what I need.
Yes, and I'm always looking for this one particular photo. And for the first, 4 or 5 times I went to look for it, I literally had to look through hundreds of photos to find it. And then I pulled it aside and put it in a different folder, but I couldn't remember the folder. And so I now have labeled it Lee's Headshot, and now I can find it whenever I need it. New.
Oh, yeah.
Lee's Headshot, new. Because people you don't look like that anymore because I've been using a headshot from 1985. Really? Really? I don't look like that anymore? Oh.
Yeah. I've
I'll
got
see
that
it.
too.
I'll see it.
I've got that, and I make it even more. It'd be like, Ellen Headshot 2024 BW 6x4. So it's a black and white 6x4.
So is that when the receiver goes deep for a slant route? Because that wouldn't really, a slant route is an inherently short route. But yeah, sounds like a quarterback calling a play.
Well, I kind of am. The play is find that photo and find it fast.
I like it.
So pay attention to how you label things, especially with your computer and your phone, so that it's easier to find them when you need them. That's efficient. Be with us again next week for another episode.